This is the 6th fight tonight here in the inaugural installment of Singapore Fighting Championship. 5 of those 6 fights have already ended in stoppages. Will the team of stoppages continue tonight with this fight? Henry Yeo immediately going to work with those knees. Southpaw stands for Henry Yeo.
Flyweights again have been coming out inside.
Both fighters actually southpaw. It's not often you see two southpaws go up against each other.
Great left right there.
Henry Yeo landing some crisp shots.
Great exchange. Fantastic exchange by both fighters again. You know what's interesting from the first time that I came to Singapore to now? You don't see the salat anymore. You don't see the guys doing too many kung fu moves or darting in like they used to, you know what I mean? And I think, again, that shows the real growth. I have nothing against other martial arts. I love kung fu. I come from a taekwondo background, and I would love to hit people in the throat, the eyes, and the groin. But the fact is you're not allowed to do that in the sport. You know what I mean?
I like the way Andika Salimi is actually trying to change his stances from orthodox, and now he's from orthodox to southpaw, and now he's back in orthodox again, trying to confuse Henry Yeo a bit there. Henry Yeo very patient in his attack. Andika Salimi trying to use his footwork.
Very patient on his attack.
Right kick and left. Andika Salimi has his hands really low.
Yeah, he does. Again, that is the one thing that we've been seeing of the amateurs. You notice how, again, each time they have them up at their chin, I'm like really, really proud of them. You know what I mean? Like, because it just, again, shows their growth in striking, which, you know, it's fine to have your hands down that low, you know, if you're like a Nick Diaz and you're at that level. But if you're not at that level, man, put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Wise words by Mr. John Nutt. Of course, if you didn't know him by now, he's the owner of Full Metal Dojo back in Thailand. Speaking about Full Metal, Henry Yeo just went full metal on Andika Salimi there. Landing a couple of very neat straight lefts. Andika Salimi went for a kick, didn't land.
That's the other problem that I have with the shin pads, is they just keep on falling down. I understand that it's amateur and we need to decipher, but I don't know if shin pads is really the way to go.
Henry Yeo doing a great job of pushing the pace, pressuring Andika Salimi, giving Salimi little space to maneuver. Very nice kick from Henry Yeo yet again.
Now, how do you pick these guys against Jake Gonzalez? Because obviously one of these guys gets to see him. Jake is a little bit shorter of a guy. But,
it's funny how Jake has to face 2 southpaws on one night.
I know, exactly.
It's really unheard of.
Uncanny. And then we go into round 2.
Round 1 is in the books, and we now go to round 2. Gonzalez later tonight in the finals of the Flyweight tournament. The first round saw both fighters predominantly fighting on their feet. Let's see if the fight hits the ground in the second round.
Which I hope it doesn't. Again, we've seen a lot of great ground action right now, but we haven't seen a full round like the last one, where it just was exchanges and exchanges, and again, like that. You know what I miss, again, and I keep on like thinking in my head, I want to see an elbow. Obviously, we're amateurs, so we're not allowed to throw the elbows, but they're getting in such close contact right there, where, again, I would think Yeo would be able to throw that elbow real nice. Great overhand right there.
Henry Yeo doing a great job of pressuring Andika Salimi, just as he did in round 1, not giving Salimi any place to go to. Salimi is basically backing off each time Henry Yeo moves forward. And
completely, he's just circling, and Henry Yeo is just dominating the center of the ring the entire time, which does have to come into play for the judges if it goes that far.
But it's not as though Andika isn't landing any shots.
No, it's not.
Because
he's not landing it. It's just,
he's actually landing a few shots as well, and I think that's the reason why his cornerman is advising Henry Yeo to keep his chin down.
Completely, but you just see who the aggressor is a little bit more, and as the rounds go longer, you see their mouths drop a little bit more because the cardio is going to come into play. And when that happens, again, you got to take into consideration that Mr. Yeo is, again, dominating the center of the ring. Some good level changes there. I thought we were going to see a shot, but nope.
Well, Andika Salimi was switching stances a lot in round 1. He seems to have decided to stay at southpaw for the second round. I'm not sure why, but I think he feels that he's finding some success in the southpaw stance, which I believe is his natural stance. So
I believe that's his natural stance. Come on now. I mean, no, I don't think any of these guys are coming out here like the Princess Bride, deciding to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I am the six-fingered man, and I will try my. Yeah, good shaking of the head right there.
Henry went for a kick, and Andika Salimi just shrugged it off, shakes his head, saying, "Hey, you didn't hit me at all."
As they're yelling about combinations, that's the other thing that's fantastic about this amateur action is we've seen all punches and bunches. You know, it's got to be harped on all the time. You can't just throw the one. And here at Singapore Fighting Championships, we're not. We're seeing literal, once again, combinations. Combinations is what's needed.
Henry just threw a very nice right hook, which found its mark. Andika Salimi needs to work more. Henry clearly controlling the exchanges in the middle, controlling the pace of the fight. Very nice punch from Henry
and so far, just by the way. That's probably because it's been third and a final round coming up. Mr. Shah controlling the action fantastically. Once again, I'd like to give a shout out to both of the referees. They're doing a good job.
Andika opens up with a kick. Henry shoots for the first takedown of the fight. Can he finish it? Immediately back to his feet.
You know, a great job right now. Great job by the blue corner. Stuffed it. I mean, basically, that's the perfect call on a stuff. That's the definition of it right there. Went for the shot.
Were you surprised that Henry went for the shot, considering was doing well on his feet?
I'm not, because I think again his corner is telling him that again he's kind of in the lead if he takes him down, and if that's his world. I don't know if that's his world. Are you familiar with his ground game? I'm not familiar with his ground game, but again. This is a points situation right now. Although you and I both think one thing, who knows what the judges think? And we all know that judges can...
And not forgetting the fact that Jake Gonzalez won via submission in his fight. So
correct.
Henry probably doesn't want to go to a decision just so it doesn't affect his cardio later on in the night. But
no, but look, I mean, my man, he actually, again, on a cardio note, I was talking about how their mouths are open in the second round.
He looks great, yeah.
Henry O's come back and he looks fantastic. I think we're on Henry O's nuts a little bit right now. I think we should really get off of those and just, again, focus on what's happening. But what is happening is the story of the first two rounds as well. Blue corner is circling, and red corner is touching. Even if that wasn't a knockout shot, that was a point. It was a point right there. That fist landed on that jaw. And if he can do it with a little bit more force, hopefully we'll see a good knockout.
Andika Salimi doing a really good job of circling away from Henry but he just needs to be a bit more active with his punches. Andika goes for a kick, misses. Henry with a right hook, which slightly grazed. Yeah, which slightly grazed his opponent. Henry finding a mark with those hooks actually.
When you miss with that leg kick, if you don't spin all the way around, I mean, he did it properly again. You just gotta keep your posture, because otherwise the punches are gonna come afterwards.
Once again, the hooks are finding its mark. Henry's hooks have been basically been his charm tonight.
Right. They've been landing. They just haven't. I wonder if it's again. You can't blame it on the flyweight, but you know, I think the corners are thinking the same thing, right? We are. Again, it's gonna go to the judge's decision, and what happens then.
And that's it. That's the end of the fight. The two fighters hug it out, and we go to a decision for the fight between Henry and Andika Salimi. Jake Gonzalez is probably waiting at the back, waiting anxiously to see who is going to be fighting in the finals of the flyweight tournament. Well, we just saw a couple of 29-28 scores as well. They probably gave it in third round in favor of Andika, but overall it was a lopsided performance.